Hello everyone, Travis Freeman here with this month's Ask the CFP segment. This month's question is, how much stock should I own when I retire? To clarify, I assume you mean how much of your investments should be allocated to stocks when you retire. If you've ever heard the old rule of thumb that you should subtract 100 from your current age to find out how much you should allocate towards stocks, it's not a bad one, but I'm not a fan of it. If you follow that rule, that means everyone retiring at age 65 should all have the same basic allocation of 35% stocks. In reality, it completely depends. But instead of giving you a 30-minute lecture on how a financial planner figures this out, let's boil it down to two main components: a growth hurdle rate and risk tolerance. Let's say someone wants to retire at age 62 and they didn't save very well for retirement. If they're going to depend on their portfolio to provide monthly income in retirement, and they didn't save well, they may be forced to take on higher levels of risk to try to keep up with their spending needs and their longevity. This can be risky, by the way. In this scenario, if they need to earn 8% per year to keep up with their needs, they need 80% or more of their portfolio allocated to stocks and other growth-oriented investments. Now let's say someone wants to retire at the age of 70, saved well for retirement, and lives a pretty modest lifestyle. This person may only need to keep up with inflation to meet their needs, which means they may not need much allocated to stocks at all. Their hurdle rate, or the rate of return one targets to fulfill their long-term retirement goals, may be pretty low. The hurdle rate of growth is one important factor used to determine how much stock to own at retirement, or any age for that matter. The other primary factor is risk tolerance. With the case of the 62-year-old that needed to earn 8% per year to achieve his goals, if that type of return required this person to take on a lot of risk and allocate 80% or more to stocks, they may not be able to accept that type of risk. In other words, mathematically he may need to take on risk to target long-term growth, but an economic downturn may scare him to the point that he can't sleep at night, or he would make an emotional decision to pull all his money out of the markets while they're down. Even if someone needs a high amount of growth to work towards their goals, if they can't tolerate the risk associated with that allocation, it's not going to work. That's when a financial planner has to coach someone on how to make adjustments elsewhere so the allocation and the hurdle growth rate both match this person's risk tolerance. There are many other factors that go into this type of decision, but these are two of the big ones. I don't have another rule of thumb except for the fact that you need to speak with a financial planner to help you create a plan, even if you do your own investing. It will be time well spent. If you have a question you'd like to submit for next month's video, please send it to tfreeman@rfgadvisory.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next month.